Thanks. So thanks everyone for joining this webinar. My name is Igor. I work for the Torrens University Australia, and today I would like to share a few things about, to share a few things with you. What is it like to be an international student in Australia? Before we start talking about Torrens universities and what we're offering to you as international students, what kind of programs you can study, what scholarships we have, etc. Let me start with a few things about Australia, okay? Not everyone is maybe familiar with Australia and why it can be a good study destination for you, why you should maybe come to Australia for the university studies. So let me share a few things, first of all, okay? So number one, why international students, including Turkish students, because we do have a Turkish students over there, why international students like it is because it's very flexible, okay? So now point number one, earn money while studying, okay? So international students coming to Australia are allowed to work part-time. This is actually a very unique chance because comparing to some other study destinations, for example, number one is United States, right? There's been always for a while, it's been number one study destination or having the most international students in the world. So comparing to United States, which has excellent universities, and I've been a couple times over there and I like it, but still Australia is more flexible. The reason is simple. For example, if you are an international student in the United States, you're not allowed to work part-time off the campus, okay? Unless we're talking about illegal job, but off the campus students are not allowed to work. In Australia, international students can support themselves. It means you come to Australia, you start your classes at the university, and get a part-time job, okay? So we can talk about cafeterias, restaurants, grocery stores, etc., right? There's plenty of jobs available for international students, which you can take or apply to. So it means international students are able to cover the cost of the living, okay? So accommodation, we're talking about food, talking about mobile phone, expensive internet, okay? All these things pretty much which you need to survive in Australia, you can cover by working part-time at some job, okay, you're gonna get. So pretty much just talking about some numbers, if you, let's say, want to proceed with your studies to Sydney or Melbourne, you need about $400, 500 Australian dollars per week to survive, okay? So if you multiply it by 4 weeks, international students need about, let's say, $2,000 to survive in Sydney or Melbourne. And this is pretty much all you can also earn, because if you get a part-time job, the average student salary in Australia in big cities like Melbourne or Sydney is about $20, $22 per hour. So considering you are allowed to work 20 hours per week, it makes it about $400, $500 per week. Multiply 4 weeks, it's $2,000 or more than $2,000 per month. So that's why it's really cool. And if you work in a hospitality field, so it means like cafeterias, restaurants, you can get pretty much tips. You can earn a lot of money on tips. Or I know there's this famous word in Turkish. I think it's bakshish, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so it's the tips, right? So you can be able to earn some tips as well. So you can even save some money. So Australia is very flexible, supportive for international students, which is good because you can support yourself and cover the cost of the living. Number two is that, as you can see, 5 out of 30 best student cities in the world are based in Australia, or actually located in Australia. So our university, Torrens, we got 4 campuses. One of them is in Sydney, one of them is in Melbourne, one of them is in Brisbane, and the other one is in Adelaide. So we got basically 4 states for you to offer, 4 big cities. Beautiful, one of the most lovely cities, or most livable cities in the world, I would say. So yeah, it's a great place to be. Number 3 is the popular international destination, right? So Australia is ranked as the 3rd most popular place in the world. Well, we can kind of discuss this because before the coronavirus hit the world and before the whole crisis started worldwide, Australia already had more than 750,000 international students. So we already, I think, overcame UK, United Kingdom. So there's United States, which is the number 1. Then there was Australia, if I'm not mistaken, and then only UK. So pretty much second place in terms of like number of international students. So sooner or later, we're gonna hit 1 million of students, international students, which just proves the quality of the education is really high. And maybe you can be asking, okay, what's so special about Australia except maybe beautiful country, a lot of beaches, a lot of sun, right? Lovely people, friendly people. Well, what proves the education system is good? Okay, so if we think about things we use on the daily basis, okay, I'm sure everyone is using, for example, Wi-Fi, wireless connection. This has been invented in Australia. Or maybe when people travel, okay, you're using Google Maps, I'm sure, you know, to locate something. So Google Maps is another invention coming from Australia. Or things we use on daily basis, like in terms of medicine, for example, penicillin, okay? Or in terms of safety, we're talking about the black box, for example. When something happens to the airplane, the first thing the police and investigators are looking for is the black box, okay? Which retrieves all the data from the flight. So this has been another invention coming from Australia. So based on these things, you can see that there has been a lot of cool things invented over there. It means Australia invests a lot into the research and education. They're actually trying to get rid of the industry and just bring the smart people to the country. So it just proves the education which you're going to get as an international student or Turkish students over there is going to be really high quality. So that's why it's also one of the most popular international student destinations in the world. Number 4, it's very common as well, or very popular, is the post-study work visa, okay? So we're talking about you come to the country, you get a good quality education, and then you have the possibility to be to apply for post-study work visa. It means every single international student, including Turkish students, after graduating from university in Australia, is eligible to apply to post-study work visa. It can go from 2 up to 3 years. Depends on the location. If students study in the big cities like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, for example, the ones where we have campuses, you're going to be eligible for 2 years post-study work rights. If you study in so-called regional cities, it means smaller ones. For example, one of our campuses is based in Adelaide, South Australia. You can get up to 3 years work permit. The reason is simple. Australia's government is trying to also get people to the smaller cities. Well, smaller. Adelaide's got about 1.3 million people, so it's not that small. It's not village, but of course it's not Istanbul with 15 or 20 million people, of course, right? But anyway, it's not small, so pretty much like you can say like lovely city to live in and to study. So in these so-called regional places, or we can mention Perth or Gold Coast, you can get up to 3 years work permit. It means you graduate, you apply for the job, and you can work for the Australian company for 2 or 3 years in a country. And that's the best opportunity to get a return on your investment, right? The education in Australia costs something. That's the same like if you travel to Canada, US, United Kingdom, everywhere, pretty much you need to pay for the education. But Australia offers you this opportunity to get the investment back within, I would say it pays off very quickly, because average salaries, or let's say starting salaries, for example, in New South Wales, where the Sydney is, can start $60,000-$70,000 per year. For example, bus drivers in Sydney are starting at $70,000 per year. So we're talking about like almost $6,000 every month, okay? Before the taxes, of course. So pretty much if someone graduates from university having a good degree, let's say from the field IT, business, etc., the starting salary can be pretty much the same or even higher. So, and we don't even talk about bonuses, etc. So the investment which international students make in Australia is going to pay off very quickly, okay? So that's why Australia is also a very cool place to be and to study and, to get higher education. And number 5 is the ranking system. So those of you who are looking for good country with a good university, good highly ranked universities, Australia has been ranked as number 9 in the world. So definitely universities with good rankings are there. You can find them over there as well. So this would be pretty much about the destination. Why Australia? Hopefully it's a little bit, it is interesting for you. And let's move to what we can offer you as a Turkish students. Torrens University Australia is part of Laureate International Universities. It means we got Laureate's got universities all around the world. So pretty much this is just to very quickly to show you. But the thing I would like to highlight why Torrens University, why my university can be very great place for Turkish students to study is because of the several things. Currently, we one of the Australia's fastest growing university with as it says, with a credible industry immersive difference. What does it mean? Pretty much, we work or we are in touch with almost, as you can see, 4,000 companies. It means we placing international students, including Turkish students, for internships, for the job placements, okay? For example, every bachelor student in Australia studying at Torrens University with us, in their last year, bachelor is 3 years in Australia. I think it's the same in Turkey, or maybe Turkey's got 4 years, not sure. But anyway, in Australia, bachelor is 3 years. So in your very last year, in your third year and last trimester, we're going to place you to real company where you're going to practice what you've been studying, okay? And this is great chance because you're not going to get only high quality education, but also experience. So later on, when you finish the university and you got a diploma in your hand, you also can put already on your CV or resume, in other words, that you've worked somewhere, okay? If, let's say, you studied business, so we can place you to IBM or some Microsoft or some other corporations. So you're going to get something on your CV as well that you graduated from university, but you got experience. And this is very important. So that's why we try to be very focused on practical stuff, okay? And that's why maybe, as you can see, our retention for international students is 90%. What does it mean, retention? It means all the international students who come to Torrens University, to any of our campuses, 90% of all of them graduate, okay? They finish, they complete their studies. They don't cancel, they don't withdraw, they don't disappear, okay? They finish the university. So it means the satisfaction rate, we can say, in other words, is very high. And that's what is very important for us. Also, employability of our students, as you can see, it's 90%. It means 90% of almost everyone, or out of 10 students, 9 students get a job very easily after they graduate, after they complete their studies. Okay, within a couple of weeks or 2-3 months, they get the job in that field. And that's very important as well, because many times having a European background as well, I know like a few of my friends from Europe, like they graduated from universities, let's say, and they ended up doing completely something else. And that's not what you as an international student want. Definitely, if you study business, you want to end up in a business environment or in a business field. You don't want to end up in a hospitality field working as a waiter or barista, all right? If you studied business degrees. So the same applies to other faculties, okay? So that's why it's very important. We keep in touch with our alumni and we try to monitor and help them and make sure they succeed. So the employability is very high. So that's why we're very proud of it. And these are the things definitely which differentiate Torrens University from others, okay? Currently, we have about 16, or it's even more, about 16,000 students. We already hit 10,000 international students, so it means more than 50% of our students across all 4 campuses are international. So we're talking about, I take care of Europe region, so we're talking about Turkish students, we're talking about students from Sweden, we're talking about students from Balkan region like Macedonia, Serbia, etc., Russia, okay? So we got pretty much Central Europe as well, Western European countries like Spain, Italy. We got nice nationality mix, but of course there are other nationalities as well, Latin America, Asia, subcontinent. So we got a lot of students from all around the world. So yeah, currently about 16 or more than 60,000 students across 4 campuses. So it makes us kind of growing very fast, as you can see. So these are the highlights. In terms of the rankings, if any one of you is looking at the rankings, what we can offer you, maybe 2 faculties I would highlight over here is the hospitality faculty, where we have the Blue Mountains Hotel School, or is this design faculty, where we have the Media Design School or Billy Blue College of Design. So these kind of 2 faculties got the highest rankings out of all 5 faculties we got. So pretty much you can check this information online on the website, or if you go to YouTube and you put the Torrens University, you can find a lot of information, a lot of videos, student testimonials, etc. So don't want to spend much time on it, but definitely there are some good rankings we got as well. What is the national presence? So as I mentioned, we got 4 campuses. So international students, including Turkish, can study at 4 places with us. As I mentioned, we got campus in Queensland, which is the Brisbane. We got campus in New South Wales, which is Sydney. We got campus in Victoria, in Melbourne, and also in South Australia, which is Adelaide. Across these 4 campuses, we pretty much offering students degrees in business, design and creative technology, which includes also IT. Okay, we got degrees in health, education, hospitality, and we're offering English studies as well. Okay. So let's take a look at our campuses very quickly. How does it look like? For example, this is the Adelaide Campus. Okay, we got several campuses in Sydney, pretty much with a good location, CBD, so City Central District. We got even like William Blue Dining and the hospitality faculty. So for those of you who maybe wants to end up to become a master chef, okay, good cook and like cooking, you don't want to just become a manager or businessman. We pretty much can offer you a degree in a dining industry as well. This is our campus at Ultimo in Sydney, really high-tech campus offering beautiful degrees in terms of like software engineering, artificial intelligence, but also design, like fashion design, architecture, like interior design, okay? Beautiful, very high-tech campus. This is our business campus in Sydney. So as you can see, we have several of them. We're running also health faculty. So in Pyrmont in Sydney, you can also study health, like Bachelor of Nursing, Public Health with us, okay? We got health degrees as well. And this is our hospitality campus. We got two of them. One of them is in Sydney, CBD. The other one is in a place called Lura. It's about 2 hours from Sydney. Lura is actually, the Blue Mountains is one of the top or the best hospitality schools in the world. Why? For example, this Lura campus it's like a simulated hotel, okay? On this campus, students actually live, work, and study. So pretty much it's like simulated hotel environment where we're gonna practice, study, and basically become we can become a hotel manager over here, right? So it's very unique opportunity to, we got a real hotel over there where real guests are coming. There's a real restaurant. So pretty much you get first-hand on experience, I would say, okay? This is the Melbourne campus, Brisbane as well, if those of you maybe would like to end up in Queensland. And the other one in Melbourne. So this is just very quickly to show you how the campuses look like. But as I said, you can check it out on the internet. Before we move to any questions, maybe feel free to post the questions in the chat box in English if you want. And we can leave some space in the end, let's say 5-10 minutes to answer the questions. Or I can leave you my contact details and you can email me or you can email to our partners in Turkey. But before we go or before we move to any questions, let me just show you what actually we at the Torrens University Australia offering to international students, including Turkish students. So let's review the faculties one by one. This is our hospitality faculty where we offering undergrad, so bachelor degrees and master degrees as well, okay? So why hospitality? For example, they say like by 2022, there should be about 73 million new travel and tourism jobs, okay? This is going to be, of course, mostly driven by Asia, as you can see, but also Europe, including Turkey. As you can see, there is going to be about 2.2, or they predict, there's going to be more than 2 million jobs in this industry created. So definitely great place to be or great chance to have a good career, okay? Graduate outcomes, as you can see, our students graduating from hospitality faculties, about 95% of them get job within 2-3 months. So it very quickly, it's really high percentage, I would say. What are the career outcomes? So we're talking about hotel resorts industry, okay? You can become a hotel resort manager, food and beverage, it includes as well, cruise ships as well. It can includes also event industry, okay? So pretty much running events for big hotels, etc. Tourism, of course. Australia, a lovely place, or I'm sure even Turkey's got some lovely places in Antalya, right? For like the kind of like holiday destinations. So you can pretty much end up over there to running some big resorts or big hotels. And there's some alternative industries. Under this faculty, we got about 2,000 or over 2,000 industry contacts. So our students pretty much having internships or they are placed to this kind of hotels. I'm sure you might be familiar with Marriott, for example, Four Seasons, Hilton, Shangri-La Hotel, okay? So these are the hotels where we're placing international students for internship where they practice. So you study something and then you're going to have the practice. It's also great opportunities for students sometimes to get a paid job, okay? So you're going to be practicing, getting the credits towards your degree. At the same time, you can get paid, which is excellent because you can earn some money, support yourself, cover your cost of living in Australia. So unique chance. Alumni placements, as you can see, our graduates or students who graduated from our hospitality faculty from Blue Mountains, for example, they ended up pretty much all around the place. So it doesn't have to be just Australia, but you can see they can end up in US, Europe, of course, Latin America, Asia, Africa as well. So pretty much our alumni are running the hotels with big resorts all around the place, or ended up as the managerial positions all around the world. So it just proves the success. This is the Asian guy. I'm sorry I don't have anyone from Turkey yet, but hopefully sooner or later we're gonna get some. But these guys, or the reason I'm showing this, or we trying to show this guys, one of our alumni who graduated from Torrens University from Blue Mountains as well. And as you can see, he won the Master Chef in Korea, graduated from the hospitality management degree, and currently, or since 2018, he's been kind of prominent chef featured on YouTube channel, okay, running his own YouTube channel with the videos, etc. So he's pretty much famous and successful guy. So this is kind of like something we're really proud of. As you can see, students graduating from our university can become very successful in their career as well. So it's a good example or kind of pride for the hospitality faculty. In terms of business, I'm sure business is popular in Turkey as well, right? We're offering a lot of bachelor and master programs over here, except regular business degrees or focus on commerce, entrepreneurship, or even management or marketing, if you like. We have also very specific degrees, for example, focus on sports management. So those of you who would like to maybe end up in the sports industry, okay, running some sports club, I don't know what are the famous ones in Fenerbahce, Beşiktaş, Istanbul, okay, the ones I know the most. But it doesn't have to be only football. Can be basketball, can be handball, whatever. It can be tennis club, okay? So those of you who would like to maybe end up in a sport industry to run some marketing campaign or marketing department at sports club, or anyway, just run the whole organization. We have bachelor or business focus on sports management, or even master MBA, Master Business Administration focus on sports management. So very unique programs. We're running these together with Real Madrid. So our students actually go for internships to Spain, to Madrid. So they have the unique chance to see how such a big club as a Real Madrid is been run, what kind of things you can end up doing over there. I'm always joking because I'm a big football fan. I used to play it as well, but my favorite club since my childhood was always Manchester United. So I'm a big fan of Premier League. So nothing for me, I would say, because I'm not a big fan of Real Madrid. But anyway, those of you who like maybe Real Madrid can be good program to study. Okay, career outcomes over here can be, as I mentioned, marketing, can be general business like accounting. Those of you who like numbers, I always hated the numbers when I was a student. But anyway, always hated accounting. But those of you who like it, who would like to become accountant, economist, business analyst, we got these degrees, IT consultant, for example. But again, event management is there, sports management, as I mentioned. So career outcomes are quite nice over here. There's variety of the things you can be doing. We even have for example, dual degrees, so MBA and global project management. So it's like a dual degree. First of all, first year you basically focus on MBA, on general business subjects. Second year you're taking global project management. So you ended up having a dual degree once you graduate from university, which is very unique. Okay, very good to have it. Also over here we have over 400 industry contacts, so you can pretty much end up in one of these companies. These are just examples for your practice. Okay, so in your last year of bachelor, we're going to place you over here so you can practice what you've been studying, get the real world experience, I would say. So that's excellent as well. Design faculty, that's the third one, and probably one of the best ones as well at Torrens University. So some of you might be familiar with the Media Design School or Bilbao College of Design, which are one of the, definitely in Asia part of the world, one of the best design schools, where we're running diplomas, undergraduate programs, so bachelor degrees in, for example, fashion design, communication, digital media, interior design, okay, or IT, like software engineering, where it can be game programming, artificial intelligence, cloud computing. And we're running also postgraduate programs, okay, like Master of Design, for example, or Master of Software Engineering, focus again on artificial intelligence or cloud computing as well. So design faculty is really strong. here are just some interesting figures. Overall design or IT industry is, like they say, is $1 billion industry, right? Here are some interesting, for example, things like, as you can see, more than 30% of Australian chief information officers says that like IT and technology overall will create the most jobs over the next 5 years. And I'm sure the same is happening in Turkey these days, right? In big cities like Istanbul, Ankara, whatever. Like there's a lot of plenty of international corporations or even domestic ones offering a lot of degrees in IT, but not just IT. It can be design, can be film, can be fashion, can be architecture, like interior design. Okay, so it's definitely good field to study. And those of you who are interested, we got beautiful programs over here. So as I mentioned, can be communication, graphic design. Okay, if you like, let's say in a print media, or you want to become a graphic designer, art director. Okay, book designer, for example. But of course, architecture focused as well, like interior design, focus on commercial architecture as well, or industrial. I think there should be as well. Branded fashion. So those of you who like to end up in fashion, designing clothes, merchandise, planner, product developer. Okay, brand manager. So we got beautiful program for you as well. Definitely design or digital media, like if you're talking about animation, etc. And yeah, IT, of course. So those of you who like coding, maybe gaming, would like to end up in a gaming industry, which like it's a, I would say, $1 million industry as well. We got beautiful program focused on software engineering for you as well. So there is a plenty of stuff on the design faculty, and the same story over here. We are in touch with over 500 industry contacts. Okay, so I'm sure you might be familiar with IBM, or maybe when you hear PlayStation, okay, Sony definitely, maybe Blowfish, okay, Digitas as well. So these are just examples of the companies we are in touch with, where we're placing our students for practice, for internships, where you can get some real experience, real world experience, might get a paid job as well, and the best chance for you to prove yourself. So once you graduate and complete the university, you can get a job in these companies. You apply for post-study work rights, which is for a subclass visa. You get the post-study work rights visa, and you can get a job in one of these corporations and or companies and work in Australia over there. So it's a very unique opportunity to get good, high-quality education with also experience. Okay, education faculty. Yeah, let me just mention this very quickly. We offering only postgrad over here, or master programs, or some PhDs as well. But anyway, it's there. So some of you maybe would like to end up studying special education or applying to master philosophy or doctor PhD degrees. We got few programs over here as well. So yeah, education faculty is also over there. The last one to mention would be the health faculty. So healthy lifestyle overall, it's becoming more and more popular in the whole world, I would say, including Turkey. I'm sure like these days, many people, when they go for running or gym, they post on social media like Facebook, etc., right, Instagram. So anyway, we're running a few nice programs over here as well. For example, focus on beauty and spa, or nursing. We got Bachelor of Nursing, which is very, very popular in Australia. Like nurses are paid very well over there. It's a very good job. So we got some nice, or public health. Okay, so we got some nice programs over here. Care outcomes can be, as I mentioned, clinical nutrition, public health, etc. So there's more of it. These are mostly bachelor degrees, but we have few postgrads as well over here. Some interesting figures, as you can see, it's also very well paid, or these are also very well paid positions in Australia. So for example, here, the average salary for nutrition professionals is almost $60,000 per year, okay? So if you want to become someone who basically going to advise people how to exercise and eat properly, how to have a healthy lifestyle, these are very well paid jobs as well, and can be interesting for your career. So, and also employment in the healthcare social assistant sector, as you can see, is growing basically from 2016, more than 5%, as you can see. So it's a definitely good career as well. We got a few nice programs as well, so you can check it out on our website. It's there, and also here we're working with the lot of companies focus on health or nutrition, clinical health as well. So there's about over 500 industry contacts we got, and we can place you for the internships. Okay. Last thing is the English. So sometimes happens that students don't meet the entry requirements, because to become international student in Australia, or to meet or to be accepted by university in Australia, pretty much we can say there are two conditions. First of all, your academic background. So if you, let's say, want to apply to bachelor program, you need to be done with your high school in Turkey. If you want to apply to master degree, you need to be done with your bachelor, of course. And then the second condition, or the kind of the thing which is very important, is the English proficiency. Okay, so English certificate, official one. We're talking about IELTS, TOEFL, can be Pearson, can be Cambridge, doesn't matter. The most common is usually IELTS or TOEFL. So sometimes happen that international students don't meet the entry requirements. For example, for bachelor degree, you need to have like IELTS 6.0, academic IELTS overall score, with no band less than 5.5 to meet the entry requirements. If we're talking about master, it's a little bit higher, 6.5 overall score with no band less than 6.0. Okay, so all the bands like listening, reading, writing, what else is there? Speaking, everything must be at least 6. Overall score 6.0 to meet the entry requirements. Okay, and to be accepted by university. Sometimes happens it's challenging and students don't meet entry requirements, so we can offer you to study English as well. It means you come to Torrens University, you improve your language. Let's say we package you 10 weeks of English and bachelor degree, or 10 weeks of English, master degree. Okay, so it's very common, no worries. We got even Turkish students with the package offers, so they improve their language, 10, 20 weeks of English, depends on their current English proficiency, and then they jump into the degrees. We got 3 intakes, which is very flexible. Usually in Europe, it's about majority of universities offer only 1 intake. So you can start a university only once per year, I would say, right? We're talking about fall season, like September, October. In Australia, it's more flexible. Even at Torrens University, we offer 3 intakes, actually. We offer February intake, June intake, and September intake. So you can start university 3 times per year. So that's good. Because if you, let's say, are not able to meet the entry requirements and you need to study still English starting, let's say, September, that's fine. You study English, improve your language, and then you start the program since February, okay? So it's really flexible, really good. So we're offering English to international students as well. Scholarships, definitely, yes, there's many times get the questions about the scholarships. We do have scholarships for international students. Mostly for Europeans and Latin America. So since I take care of the whole European region, including Turkey, yes, there are scholarships for Turkish students for you as well. Scholarships can go from 15 to 30%, depends on the faculty, depends on your profile as well. Okay, so there are some certain scholarships we can grant you as soon as you meet the entry requirements. So let's say we got Turkish students applying to one of our programs, and he or she meets the entry requirements, automatically the scholarship is granted because you're coming from Europe region. However, if sometimes students want to get higher scholarships, we're looking at your background as well. So it can be merit-based scholarships, so we're looking at your grades, or it can be your achievements, what you've done in your life, some projects, okay? So good example can be one of my recent students from Italy. We had a student applying to one of our programs at design faculty. It was interior design, I think. Student applied. She met the entry requirements. She was from Italy, so she's been granted 15% scholarships. However, as she's got some experience as well, because she used to work at one architecture company or firm, she submitted the portfolio as well. It was a couple pages PDF document showing her work, what she's done with some kind of, she designed some apartments, I think. So this was sent to the faculty for review, and the faculty was very pleased that students got experience and she's got some achievements, she's got some real work experience as she used to work already. Boom, they grant her 20% scholarship. So based on your profile, based on the profile of students, the scholarship sometimes can be even higher. So the better of the profile of the student, the higher the scholarship can be. But anyway, even if you don't have an experience, that's fine. As soon as you meet the entry requirements in terms of academics and language, and you're accepted by Torrens University, you're going to get scholarship for sure at each of the faculties we have, okay? So scholarships are there. This can be discussed later on with me or with one of our partners in Turkey. So just to sum it up, because I guess we got like only a couple minutes, why Torrens University? As I mentioned, we have very high retentions for international students. So we keep students, they keep studying with us, they're satisfied. We got a lot of industry placements, a lot of companies we're working at placing international students like you for internships. Employability rate of our students is very high. So it's, as you can see, 90% of the students get jobs very easily or within 2-3 months. And that's what is very important. But also what is very good to mention is our professor or lecturers are industry experts. So we're talking about people coming from the industry, okay? Our lecturers who are leading the classes, they either used to run their own business or they're still running their own businesses or they have a lot of work experience. So they're really teaching you up-to-date things. They're not teaching where the industry was 20 years ago, but teaching where the industry is heading these days, okay? What is used, what is common. So this is really important for students. Also, we got very small classes, as you can see. So pretty much we keep classes at 20-25 students per one professor, per one lecturer, okay? So they're going to know you by your name very quickly. They're going to have more personal approach to you. So it's really important for international students, especially once you're paying for education, okay? We get also success coach available for everyone. So every single international student coming to Torrens University is going to be assigned special person. We call it success coach. It's like a mentor. And these people basically make sure you are progressing, you're not failing the exams, okay? You're getting all the support you need. So that's also very good, especially if you are new, if you've never been to Australia before, if you don't know the system, you know, the people, the city. So this can be a really good support for students as well. And definitely flexible timetable. Look, Australia, I'm sure if you compare it to, for example, Turkey or Europe, many European countries, like universities in Europe, usually students need to come for the classes every day or at least 4 times per week. Australia is a little bit different, and especially at Torrens as well. We have flexible timetables, so pretty much you might end up having your schedule Monday, Tuesday, and that's it. The rest of the week, you don't have to come to campus unless you want to. You can, of course, come and study at the library, etc., but pretty much you don't have to, because of course you need to study online and like take work on your assignments, everything. But it's still like good that the rest of the week is free, so you can get a part-time job, you can work, you can travel, you can enjoy Australia. It's a beautiful country, right? I'm sure you can check it out on the internet. There's like a lot of beautiful places. So it's very flexible, and also we offer all the programs in online mode. So sometimes happens students take like 1-2 subjects face-to-face. They come to the campus and they take 1 subject online, okay? So let's say you're studying business. So you start with 3 subjects. You start with accounting, management, and let's say microeconomics, okay? So you take, let's say, microeconomics and accounting face-to-face because it's good to be on the campus. And let's say management can be taken online because you don't want to spend that much time on campus. You want to have more flexibility, maybe get a part-time job. So yeah, this can be also done. Pretty much more than 30% of our overall study load can be offered online. So this is also very good for international students, or what we offer at Torrens, and that's why like Torrens University is we are quite unique and very proud of this system, because we support students. We try to make sure you are happy at the university. You're getting definitely good education, but at the same time practical education. Like once you graduate, you're not going to have just knowledge, but you're going to have like experience as well, and you can get a job very easily. Okay, so this would be maybe just the last thing I would like to mention. Basically, one of our partners from Turkey is Hub Education. So pretty much if you just go to, for example, Instagram or Facebook, you can find Hub Edu Istanbul, and you can find all the contacts over there, so you can get in touch with them, with our friends, Onur or Simon, and they can answer all your questions in Turkish as well. Or you can shoot me an email straight to me. As you can see, my contact details are below, so feel free to copy paste it, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. I'm the area manager for Europe, so including Turkey. So pretty much these days I'm not traveling because everyone is grounded because of the crisis we're going through. I mean, all of us. So yeah, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions as well. Depends on the language. So yeah, that will be pretty much it from my end. Let me just stop sharing and let's maybe open some space for some questions if you have still like a couple minutes. Let's check it out. Do we have any questions? Let's check it out. Questions. Good. Okay, we got one question from Elif. Is SAT exam effective in Australia, and is it possible to get weight from the English proficiency exams by SAT score? Look, it's not that common. SAT is more common for US, I would say, but definitely we pretty much can take it into consideration. So if you already have SAT results, yeah, I can discuss with admission office. It should be fine, and pretty much you can avoid the taking IELTS or TOEFL. But the most common is the English test like TOEFL or IELTS or Pearson or Cambridge. So, but yeah, I think we can take it into consideration if you already have the results. But it's not that common. We got question from Hilmi. 1 year tuition, average living expenses. How much does one need to be prepared for financially? Okay, accommodation options. All right, so this is 1 year tuition. Depends on the faculty. So if we consider, let's say, business degrees are a little bit lower compared to design faculty. If we're talking about, let's say, business, can be tuition 22,000 Australian dollars per year, but without scholarship. So if we apply, for example, business faculties got 30% scholarship for Turkish students, so you might end up paying $16,000 per year only. Only, it's still, I know it's not cheap, but we talk about Australian dollars, of course, but it's still like, it's great once you get the scholarships. Living expenses, I don't know, how do you mean this? If we're talking about visa, applying for the visa, or living costs. Living costs in Australia, we need about $2,000 per month to survive. But this is pretty much what you can earn by working part-time. If we're talking about overall living costs, like expenses for the visa, I think this would be best to answer you by email, or maybe you can contact HubEdu or me directly, because there's more things to consider if you're talking about living expenses in terms of like visa application, okay? Accommodation options, like usually European students, then they live together, so it means like the sharing apartments, like or renting a flat. But definitely there's a homestay options as well, so you can stay with the Australian family. Sometimes it's good, like if you're new to Australia, to take homestay at least for a month, to stay with Australian family. You get accommodation, you're getting 3 times, let's say, food per day. And after 1-2 months, once you get to know the city, once you get to know the system, you just move out with your friends and you rent an apartment, okay? Can be choice as well. Engineering, there is another question from Semre, okay? Are there any engineering programs? Yeah, well, we do run the software engineering. So software engineering, for example, focused on artificial intelligence, cloud computing, etc. Just check it out, the Torrens University Australia website, and go to the design faculty. So there are some as well. We're not running anything like mechanical engineering or electronic engineering if you're looking for these, but definitely in terms of like design field or IT field, we've got some. Another question from Hilmi. Hard to decide between Australia and Canada. Any advantages of Australia that you would like to highlight? Thank you very much. Okay. Look, I've been to Canada as well. I got a good friends in Vancouver as well. Both countries are lovely, I would say. But still, when a friend of mine was doing some comparison in terms of like earnings, the money you can earn, Australia is still a little bit better. So it means like the money you can earn in Australia, it's higher than Canada. But both of the system are pretty good. So maybe the best for you, Hilmi, if you think about applying or proceed with your education abroad, pretty much just apply to both countries. You can get letter of offer from Australian University, for example, from us. I'll be more than happy to assist you together with HubEdu. And you can apply to Canada as well. And maybe you can get both offers. You can get maybe some scholarships from Canadian institutions as well. So you can take a look. You can look at how much it's going to cost you, how much you maybe can, how much you need to study, what are the entry requirements, how much you can earn during the studies, working part-time, what are the job outcomes afterwards. I think that's the best, always to apply. But both countries are good, but I would prefer Australia, of course, because it's still like as if we're talking about career or earnings, incomes, it was a little bit better when a friend of mine was doing the comparisons. We got a few more questions. All right, no worries. You pretty much welcome. I think these are all the questions. Any other questions, or maybe even in Turkish? Maybe we can get some support, and basically, like someone can help me to translate them. So feel free to ask even in Turkish. All right. Look, as I mentioned, if there are no any other questions, let me just share one more time very quickly my contact details. Just quickly share application window here. Yes. So this would be the contact details. So feel free to shoot me an email or go to the Hub Edu Facebook page or Instagram page and try to send them a quick message that you attended the webinar about studying in Australia, about Torrens University Australia. They're our official partners, one of our official partners in Turkey, and they will be more than happy to answer all your questions. They got even office in Sydney, so you can even get great support once you come to Australia. But at the same time, feel free to email me as well. I don't speak Turkish, unfortunately. Sorry about it, but we can go ahead and proceed with English, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions. Either via WhatsApp or just email probably would be the best. So yeah, that's it. So once again, thanks everyone for joining this session. Hopefully it was useful for you. Hopefully you found Australia interesting place to be. So yeah, once again, thanks. Have a lovely evening. Be safe, especially in these difficult times. Hopefully we're gonna beat the coronavirus worldwide sooner or later, and the borders in Australia will be open for the rest of the world. So we're gonna be able to welcome new Turkish students soon at our campuses. Okay. So stay safe, everyone. Thanks once again for joining, and yeah, thanks IEFT team for your support with this webinar, for running this session for me. Thanks. Bye bye. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Thanks, Hassan. Bye bye. Cheers.